today we are going to talk about the true definition of prayer, the true action behind prayer. Yesterday we talked about how to give your emotions to God, which is kind of sort of a separate issue. Well, not a separate issue, but just a separate subject altogether. And even though the answer was asking, today we're going to talk about the action and like the true meaning of prayer and what it actually really means. And so before we get into that conversation, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel. And when you do, or if you already have, if you put I subscribed in the comments below, I will personally reply to your message. So let's get started. So, the reason that this subject came up and the reason why I'm making this video is because I was listening and watching and reading about like a totally different subject earlier today, this morning. And, you know, yesterday I was talking about, you know, asking God and like calming down your emotions before you make decisions and, you know, asking God for what it is that He wants you to do and things of that nature, right? Especially when you're, you know, very emotional and you have, you know, stress and drama and, you know, troubles and, you know, tribulations and things going on. So that was yesterday. Well, today, you know, I know that I mentioned prayer and meditation and things of that nature, but I was doing a little bit of research and I found, and this happens to me often, but I don't think that I've ever really thought about it in this way. I just say pray. I just say pray. And I've addressed the fact that I, you know, in the very beginning when I was being told to pray, I didn't really know how to pray. So, you know, I was saying the Lord's Prayer or the 23rd Psalm or Ephesians 3:20, you know, that's how I kind of started off with prayer. But I think that sometimes we're not really sure what prayer is, right? Like, what is prayer? You know what I mean? Like there's definitely prayers that we can, you know, pick and we can read and we can recite and things of that nature. But what is the purpose of prayer? Like, what are we doing? And so I remember years ago, I was told this, and it was kind of sort of a foreign subject to me at the time, but I was told that prayer is a conversation with God. So it's not always about asking for something and petitioning for something and begging and pleading and just going to God when things are bad. It's also just simply having a conversation with God. It's also just inviting Him into your life and allowing Him to commune with you as you walk through this thing called life. And so it's not about always going to God when things are going bad. It's just going to God. It's just going to God for anything. Should I make this turn? Should I go here? Should I go there? Should I wear this? Should I, you know, there's a lot of questions that you can ask. I mean, you can laugh with God, you can joke with God, you can do all kinds of things with God. This is just like having a conversation with anybody else. But the purpose of that is for the more that you invite Him in, the more that He can give you answers and maybe even out some of the things that you're not really sure about how to go about or decisions to make or things of that nature. If that makes any sense, I think. So for example, I think that there's probably somebody that's going to watch this and be like, this is ridiculous. And it could be. It really all depends on what kind of relationship that you want to have with God and how deep you want the relationship to go and how much you want to cultivate a relationship with an entity, a being, a spirit that can really bring forth some of the best things in your life with their guidance. So the question is, why would you not want to invite Him into every aspect of your life? Does that make sense? So, yeah, so how you would have a conversation with anybody else is how you would have a conversation with God. And so just like you go to him when you have, whatever you go to him for, whether it's the good, the bad, or, in the middle, like whatever it is that you want to talk to God about, talk to him about it. Seek his guidance, seek his answers. I really just want to reiterate that we don't have to always go to God in asking or petitioning. That it is really okay to, for example, if you're going to an interview, to ask God to go before you and to make a way, create a path for you as you leave your house, as you go out of your house, as you protecting your house as you're gone, and then speaking through you and giving you the right answers and the right attitude and the right way to be as you go through that interview process. That's an example. Or if you are, I'll give you a perfect example, or if you're lost, right? And these are just things that I have conversations with God all the time. If you're lost and asking which way to go, just guide me, send me a signal, send me a sign, right? Or let me see, what else can I think of? Or even let's just say you got off the phone with someone, coworker, friend, family member, or whatever, and you're just like, God, I'm not really sure. I don't really feel good about that conversation. What did that mean? What was she saying, or what was he saying, or what was that about? I just don't feel right in my spirit about that conversation. Give me your perspective. And what the answers look like that are coming back are, fresh thoughts, fresh feelings, fresh ideas that pop into your head. Or you just might hear something, not audibly, but you might get an idea and be like, okay, God, because that's where it's coming from. So I really just wanted to kind of put a stamp on, let me look at my notes. I really just wanted to put a stamp on not making prayer just about one particular thing, but actually opening up the idea of prayer to a conversation with God, just like you have a conversation with a friend, or just like you have a conversation with a parent, or just like you have a conversation with your significant other. It's the same way. It's just that in this relationship, you're able to get answers back in the most unique way. And so, of course, in order for you to get answers back, you have to be open, right? You can't be doubtful. And you have to block, that's why it's so important. I say this all the time. That's why it's so important to block out the noise, block out the distractions, block out, whatever it is that you're doing, and find a quiet space, quiet time for you and God. It could be in the car, it could be in the bathroom, it could be in the kitchen while you're cooking. It could be anywhere, it doesn't matter. But the point of the matter is, just remember this: prayer is a conversation with God, meaning you can pray about everything. Everything. And it's fine. He's going to be there to answer you. But I must say this: you must have faith. You must not be in a space of doubt or disbelief, or this is silly or whatever, because you're not inviting it in. So you can only expect to get what it is that you believe. I'm just promising you that if you do this, and if you do commit to having a conversation with God, you can truly have a conversation with God and get the advisement and even the questions answered, or just whatever it is that you need. So I think that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to put a twist on it, because it looks like we really have lost sight of what prayer is supposed to be, and we only think that we're supposed to go to God, and maybe we don't all, but we only think that we're supposed to go to God when we have problems or when we have a question. And it's not always just about a question. Obviously, it can be about a question, but it's also about a conversation, a relationship. And I've made many videos about this on my channel, about building a relationship with God. This is an everyday thing. And your prayers don't have to be long and drawn out and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? You could simply just say thank you. I make shorts about this all the time. Like, hey, did you say thank you today? Hey, did you say thank you is a complete sentence. Gratitude, appreciation, things of that nature, all of those things are amazing. But again, I'm going to go, but I do want you to just think about what it is that I've said. Prayer is a conversation with God. And it's not just a one-sided, woe is me, God help me, blah, blah, blah. Show him gratitude. Let him know you're thankful. And ask away, comment away, sing away. Do all those things. Joke with God. Whatever it is that you want to do. Build a relationship with God. So that is all I wanted to say today. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great one.